It's Friday, March 21st, 2025. Thanks for joining me today. Coming to you from Palm Desert, California, 90 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, no wind. Absolutely stunning today. But I know you're not here for a weather report. You're here to hear about the news. I got a bunch of articles to share with you. Feel free to comment down below on any of this. Markets across the board, flat but up. What was amazing this morning, I got up, I turned on the television, Dow Jones was down around 500 points and it finished up in the green today. So more volatility. The invisible hand at work, very, very interesting. But I was watching a little Fox Business this morning, and they were talking about people using DoorDash, and they're paying for their DoorDash deliveries and their food with a buy now, pay later plan, Klarna. And what's shocking here is that people are financing their food and food deliveries, and they just don't, I mean, this just really blows me away that the struggling consumer, who probably, many of these people shouldn't even be going out to eat, are having their food delivered and paying a pretty good price to have it delivered. It's not cheap. I've never used a food delivery service, don't plan on it, but these people who are just struggling want to continue to finance their food, the deliveries, and the convenience. And I just find this stuff absolutely shocking that this is still going on. If you've got to finance a burrito, if you're financing a burger, if you're doing this, you should really get your priorities straight and really think about what you're doing. And on top of it, financing the delivery cost. This is the mindset of the typical American today, and another reason why we're in so much trouble. And look, it's up to you what you want to do with your time and your money. I'm just pointing it out here, and I'm just thinking out loud here in front of a camera today. But how many of you agree with this? Are these people just that reckless and out of their minds that they can't even afford to go out to eat, but they order takeout and then pay for it through a buy now, pay later app, and then pay this surcharge to have it delivered? Just does not make any sense to me whatsoever. People are financing the convenience with more debt. And it, people will go, well, there's no interest. There's no interest charge to Klarna. Miss a payment and find out, because it's 30%. So they're hoping that you miss a payment, because this is where they really make the money, because they're going to charge you 30% for a missed payment. Tesla owners are trading in their EVs at record levels. Edmund says, are you trading yours in? I don't plan on owning one, but if you want to own one, great. I admire what this company is doing. I'm not an EV guy, but if I was, I'd buy a Tesla. But are you, if you own one, are you going to trade it in? Seems to me like you may be thinking about buying one, because there's probably some fantastic deals out here. Retail army piles into Tesla at record-breaking pace. JP Morgan analyst Emma Wu told clients that the current level of retail enthusiasm for Tesla is unlike anything seen in the past 10 years. I don't think Tesla's going away. I really, really don't. Retail net flows into Tesla topped $8 billion over the last 13 consecutive sessions through Thursday, the largest buying streak for Tesla via JPM data since they started it in 2015. What are your thoughts? Again, I'm not an EV guy, but I absolutely oppose this attack on a company, a physical attack, terrorism on a company that people, have a disagreement with, don't like their politics, and feel that it's okay to just go and burn down their sales offices, their showrooms, their cars. Absolutely disagree with that. I think it's absolutely disgusting. You don't have to agree with what people say or what they believe in, and nobody has the right to get physical, put hands on somebody, or start burning down their businesses. FedEx, the latest company to sound the alarm on the U.S. economy, down 6.45% today. This is on Market Watch. Year to date, they're down 16%. Demand is weakening, and this demand that continues to weaken, I think we're going to see more of it throughout the year. The consumer is tapped out, and this is another barometer of what's going on, the demand weakness that we're seeing in FedEx. Nike expects sales will plunge in current quarter as it faces tariffs. Sliding consumer confidence, down 5.46% today, 7.78% year to date, down 21% in the last 6 months, down 32% in the past year. They got political, and they paid a price here, ladies and gentlemen, and So many of these companies got political and they paid an enormous price, and they still are. There's more competition now for Nike. They should have never got political, just like Disney. The economy has slowed down. China has slowed down. And this is a major economic storm now for Nike. And let's face it, the consumer just doesn't have the discretionary spending capability that they did a year, 2, 3 years ago, where they can go out and buy $300, $400, $5 gym shoes. Those days are over. Those days are over. People are not offering $50,000 or $100,000 over list price on a house. They're not buying $300, $400, and $500 gym shoes like they once did. They are reining in the spending. Yes, there are still people out there reckless. They're putting their food deliveries on Klarna, but we're seeing a lot less of it. And even on social media, I see a lot less of the bozos out there showing me what they had for dinner last night, showing me their $25 cocktails, showing me their Vegas vacations. You're seeing less and less of it. These people are disappearing because they're broke, and it's going to continue to go on throughout this summer and this year. The people all over social media that went broke trying to impress people they didn't even know are really going broke right now. UK terrorism, police probing sabotage in Heathrow Airport fire. Experts warn it bears hallmarks of Russia. I have not seen much of this on the news today, but I've been reading about it all over the internet. It says here, it disrupted travel for 291,000 passengers, 1,300 flights canceled. So a raging fire broke out at the electrical substation about 2 miles from the airport. I like how they're already blaming it on Russia. Of course, who knows who it was? It could have been a total accident. It could have been anybody. Maybe this was sabotage. Maybe it was done on purpose. I don't think we're ever really going to know. But one thing we do know is we're going to see more of this. And we are vulnerable right here in the United States of America. Our grid, our airports, the amount of cyber attacks, the entire system is really, really vulnerable now to so many different countries because the technology out there that China, Iran, Russia, and so many more now have the capabilities to really, really hurt us. So use this as a reminder today, what happened at Heathrow, that, it can happen anywhere. And it may not be an airport. Next time it may be, the grid in your city, the grid in your state, the water filtration systems, the police stations, the hospitals. So again, today, as I come to you on this beautiful Friday, make sure you continue to stay on path, continue your preparations, add a little bit more food, add a little bit more water, add a little bit more training. It's never going to be worthless. And every time I read something like this or see something like this on the news, it is another wake-up call to continue to prepare, and train. Here's another one today from The Hedge, how Los Angeles is getting scorched by its homeless problem. I've done many, many videos on the homeless epidemic out here in California. In 2024, fires connected to a homeless person in Los Angeles County, 17,000. Let me repeat that. 17,000 fires connected to a homeless person in Los Angeles in 2024. In 2023, it was 14,000. We have some people starting fires to use drugs. Some people are starting fires to keep warm. Some people are starting fires to cook. I just watched a Skid Row video about 4 or 5 days ago, and there was a group of people just burning trash on the side of the road down on Skid Row to keep warm when it was raining out there last week. That can reach to a building, a rooftop, and all of a sudden now we have another major city in Los Angeles. This is how far California has fallen. And when I read this stuff, 17,000 fires connected to individuals, homeless people in Los Angeles last year. Where am I living? Is this even a first world country anymore? Does this even happen in third world countries? Name me a third world country where 17,000 fires in one city start out because of homeless people. Where did $24 billion that went to curb the homeless epidemic in Los Angeles County? Where did all the money go? We have more fires than ever. Here's one from the LA Times. LA City budget shortfall grows to nearly $1 billion with layoffs nearly inevitable. More layoffs coming, ladies and gentlemen. Where did the money go? Here's Mayor Bass on the picture here. How are they going to rebuild LA after the massive wildfires? I mean, they shouldn't even they're not even wildfires, they're homeless fires, because we know that these fires were probably started by homeless people. Maybe true, maybe not. Maybe it was intentional, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. We don't know. They're going to sue Edison. They're going to I mean, there's so much going on. Who knows who or where these fires started from? We can speculate all day, but there's a good percentage chance that it was somebody homeless, or maybe it was more sinister. I'm not really sure. But one thing we are sure of is the LA City budget shortfall grows to nearly $1 billion. And we have 16,000 structures that have burnt to the ground, and they are very slow to even clear the rubble. It is going to take many years to rebuild this. Where is the money going to come from? The city is broke, the state is broke, and this isn't just LA and California. It's happening to many states and many cities all over the country. I could name Chicago as another one. Vanlords charging up to $1,300 in rent to the homeless could be curbed. This is another epidemic we have here, are these vanlords, these dilapidated vans that are all over California, especially LA, San Francisco, San Jose, where these dilapidated vans and campers are just parked in the street somewhere, some in neighborhoods, some in industrial areas. And these vanlords basically charge, they can charge $300-400 up to over $1,000 a month, depending on the situation. San Jose is now cracking down, saying these are very unsafe conditions. There's hazardous waste. They're just dumping the sewage right into the streets. It's another fire hazard. We've seen a few of these burn up in Venice Beach, and that were parked in front of houses and burned down houses. And there's a really sad story here in this article on The Hedge, where one of these campers did burn up, caught a house on fire in Venice Beach, and this doctor's dog was home and could not get out and died in the fire, and the neighbors tried to get it out, and it was just an awful story. But why has this even been allowed? I mean, they're parking these campers and been doing this for many years now in front of $1 million homes in Venice Beach. And there's drug use, they're pumping sewage into the streets, fire hazards, just bad actors that are, living in a lot of these things. And it just goes on and on and on. But now we have the Super Bowl coming to San Francisco in 2026. So, just like when the Chinese leader came to California, what was it, last year? How quickly they cleaned up San Francisco, how quickly things cleaned up. And this is exactly what will happen too. They'll clear all this out for the Super Bowl, and then as soon as the Super Bowl leaves, it'll be right back looking how it did. But it's amazing how quick they can get things done when a powerful leader comes to California, or when a Super Bowl comes to California. It's amazing how quickly they can take action and clean things up. But how would you feel if you had a $1.5 million house and you had two campers parked out in front with people doing God knows what in that thing? So happens every day out here. Historic hotels, Saxonburg, closed effective immediately. This happened a couple weeks ago, and I bring this up because this hotel, this little hotel, historic, in business for 193 years, Saxonburg, Pennsylvania. And we're seeing more small businesses, some of them really iconic companies, businesses here in America that have been around for so long. And it's so sad to see them have to close up. But this was one of those, almost 200 years in business, and the economy got to them. Small businesses have been battered, but confidence is rising. This on The Hedge today. We hear about these big corporate layoffs. We don't hear a whole lot about small business layoffs, and the small business layoffs are beginning to really pile up. The U.S. is no longer a nation of small businesses. We cannot, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot afford to lose the backbone of America, which is small businesses. And we're losing a lot of small businesses. We don't hear how bad it is for small businesses. We just hear about the big ones, but we do not want to lose the backbone of America. We really don't. Otherwise, everybody's going to work for a big business, a big company, and everybody's just going to be a number. This is why I like small mom and pop restaurants and the little diners and homemade food and all that versus all this corporate stuff. Every city you go to now looks the same. Everybody has a Walmart, everybody has a Costco, everybody has a Taco Bell, a McDonald's, a Burger King, they all look the same. A Starbucks. All cities now across America are beginning to look the same. It's all corporate. The corporate gas stations, there's 4 corporate gas stations on each corner. It's all looking the same. And I really love when I go somewhere, when I'm traveling to, go into a small town and there's a mom and pop diner, a mom and pop donut shop, a little mom and pop retailer. It's so refreshing to see that. And we're losing that. And the more we lose it, we're all going to be working for these large corporations, and we're all just going to be a number. So I really hope that this administration does everything in its power to get small business back and booming. And this really should be one of our priorities, is to make sure that small business is growing here in America. And, the biggest business was government business. Everybody, the biggest employer in the country, government jobs. The government's employing all these people. So we need to see that reversed. We need to see less government jobs, less government workers, and we need to see more people in the private sector producing, manufacturing, innovating, and competing. The hedge today. What ceasefire? European gas prices jump after Ukraine blows up key gas pumping station in Russia in act of terrorism. Well, I guess the ceasefire is over, and I guess that I just don't really see right now peace coming anytime soon. I think it's becoming a reality that maybe Zelensky, maybe he doesn't really want peace. I think he wants more money. I think he wants more war. I could be totally wrong. Comment down below. But whatever the case, it doesn't look like peace is coming anytime soon. Here's another one. Hamas launches rockets on Tel Aviv for first time in months. This happened yesterday. Hamas bombarded Tel Aviv with a barrage of rockets. Things heating up all across the world again. And it's another reminder to me of why I buy gold and silver, because I don't think they're going to calm things down anytime soon across the world. There is so much happening, and a lot more happening that we don't even hear about. But just you take Ukraine, you take this whole thing now with Tel Aviv and Hamas and Israel and all this. And of course, now the domestic terrorism here in America. You have to be careful what kind of car you're driving. You got to be careful what kind of hat you wear. You got to be careful. So the world is becoming a more and more chaotic place, and it's a time where I think gold is going to, even though there's a little pullback, good day to buy some gold, by the way, not financial advice, but if you need some, SD Bullion link down below. But a good time right now to continue to acquire these assets, which I think are on sale, because from what I'm reading right here, all these articles, the chaos ensues. It's not going away anytime soon. And of course, the debt is not going anywhere anytime soon either. So take a little time this weekend and make sure that you continue to add to the preps. Next week, we'll be out doing a little bit of training, and that'll be good. And just make sure that your workouts are consistent, that you have utility to your workouts, you know how to protect yourself and your family, and continue walking close to God. And that's really all I can say as I wrap it up here on this beautiful Friday. It is really starting to get warm. So much happening. I've never seen the world in so much chaos as I'm seeing right now. And I think things are going to escalate very, very soon. So say your prayers. Pray for this country. God bless every one of you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a safe weekend out there. Have a good weekend out there. You're all blessed. You really are. I'm going to get out of here. Take care. Talk to all of you very, very soon.